Hi guys, welcome to my first YouTube video. Today I'm going to be making beef ramen with real beef in it. I'm just using like some sliced beef that I found in my fridge. This video is pretty much just going to be stuff that I found in my fridge. And yes, I did find thawed out beef in my fridge. So let's get to the video. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wanna start to marinate this beef in a delicious sauce. So you're gonna need this like a small bowl, something that you're gonna be able to mix it in. I'm gonna have to wash my chopsticks real quick, so I'll be right back. So we're gonna get started. I have this tablespoon and I'm gonna put some soy sauce in it. This is just the marinade for the steak. And that's about good. I'll add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Okay, and now you're gonna want to add about half a tablespoon of sesame oil. I don't really like using that much sesame oil because it's got a strong flavor to it. So about a teaspoon less if you want. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add some gochujang. I don't know if I'm even pronouncing it right. If you guys like want to correct me on how to say it, I will be totally okay with that because I don't even know how to say like what it's called, but it's red chili paste. So you're gonna, you're gonna want to add half a tablespoon, or you don't even have to add gochujang paste, or however you say it. Please correct me if I'm saying it wrong. You're gonna want to add about just half a tablespoon. If you don't want to add that much, or you don't want it to be too spicy, just don't add it, because it's just gonna give it a nice little spice. Oh my gosh.
Take the blame, always getting jaded back around the all the same. Never want to hear me, I've been beating from the start.
Give a nice little mix.
And I got a broken heart.
Cool. It should look something like that. If it doesn't look like that, you probably did something wrong. So now you're gonna want to put in about a tablespoon of sugar. I just have regular sugar. You can use like whatever kind of sugar you have, but I'm just using some regular sugar. So about a tablespoon. If you don't want it too sweet, don't add a tablespoon. But that's just what I'm adding, just to give it a nice sweet flavor once it starts to cook together. Once it starts to come together, not cook together. Okay, so that's pretty much my sauce. You can see there's little grains of sugar. That's going to be really nice and caramelize the steak, and it's going to taste really nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some sesame seeds. These are optional. You don't have to add them if you don't want to. Well, I just kind of like adding sesame seeds because it adds a little bit of color. Just about, I'd say that's about a teaspoon sesame seeds. Give it a nice little mix. And that's what your marinade should look like so far. You can taste it if you want because it obviously hasn't touched the meat yet. But that's pretty much it for the sauce. I'm going to go ahead and now add some fresh vegetables to go ahead and cook in with me. So now we're going to move on to the vegetables. I have just a little slice of onion here. And the way I like to cut onions is kind of just cut little lines in it. Usually I wear some sunglasses when I'm cutting like onions because they make your eyes burn. Now if you're a kid and you're trying to make this, please ask a parent to help you because knives are sharp. You're going to want to cut up your onion into little cubes, and this is going to go on your steak. So either you can cut it into cubes or you can just regularly cut it into slices. I like cutting it into cubes because usually I take out the slices later because they give it like some flavor. But since I want to keep the onions in there, I'm going to cut them into cubes. Now the onion's done, you can either give it a nice like big chop if you don't really want to have very much onion in there. But I just kind of cube it up. And now you're going to want to use your clove of garlic. This is a pretty big clove of garlic. You can use as much as you want. You don't even have to use fresh. If you don't have fresh garlic or onions, you can always use powdered garlic or powdered onion powder. I like to take out this green thing because I don't really know what it is. But yeah. You're gonna wanna mince your garlic into like little tiny itsy bitsy little cubes, so that way you can have a nice flavor. And this is also gonna be added to your steak, so don't forget about that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the garlic. So once you've cut up all of your onions and your garlic, you're gonna wanna go ahead and grab the bowl of sauce that we made earlier, and you're gonna want to grab this and put it directly in the sauce, because when you're not using garlic powder or like onion powder, you want to add it directly to the sauce, because usually you just add garlic powder or garlic salt and it will give it a nice flavor. But right now I'm using fresh garlic and fresh onions. So you can see the chunks of onion in there and it's looking really good. I tasted it earlier and it tasted really delicious. If you want, you can add some more soy sauce. I definitely added some more soy sauce because I felt like it was too sweet. So yeah. Now we're gonna go ahead and add this sauce onto our steak. So good already. Okay, so you're gonna want to flip it through the sauce. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to hold the chopsticks right now. Okay, got it. Now let's flip it through the sauce. Oh my gosh, it's gonna taste so good. Ooh. Okay, cool beans. It looks really good. I think that was a fair amount of sauce to cover it all. Once you've covered your entire steak, you're gonna wanna put a lid on it, put a cap on it, and throw it in the fridge until the next step is finished. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step while this steak marinates. Now while your beef is marinating, you're gonna move on to the next step, which is making some beef ramen. You're gonna want to go ahead and close your ramen cabinet, grab your beef noodles, and throw them in a pot of boiling water. So what you're going to want to do is, obviously you put your ramen in this little pot of boiling water, turn it on to about medium heat, and you want to let this like slowly cook because our beef is marinating. So you're just going to want to put it on medium and just let it slowly cook. Okay guys, like I said before, this is a video for like things that you find in your refrigerator. So what I found in my refrigerator were these mushrooms. They're in this water because there's like a lot of dirt on mushrooms because they come from like underground. And I also have this bowl of corn just to like put on top. You probably can't see it. Okay, let me try that again. This is the corn. I'm gonna not spill it this time. It's in some water because like it was frozen corn that I found in my freezer. Because it's stuff that we're finding in our fridge. So I have corn, I have mushrooms, and I also have red and green bell peppers. I thought I might use these because like just add some color and to give it a nice little crunchy flavor of some bell peppers. I think the reason why I use mushrooms is because I don't have shiitake mushrooms, so I'm just kind of using these mushrooms that I got from the grocery store. We're gonna go ahead and chop up our vegetables so we can go ahead and use that as topping for our ramen. Okay, so my bell peppers are washed. I'm gonna add about, let's say, half of this bell pepper, probably like a quarter. These are gonna be so crunchy and delicious. And I love bell peppers just eating them by themselves. They taste really good. We see that nice. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I love the inside of bell peppers. They look really cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut them into slices. You want to cut this out because it's not the prettiest. Not the prettiest bell in the ball. Okay, cool. Cut that out. Save that for later. And you get these nice, beautiful, clean strips of bell pepper. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this bell pepper and the green bell pepper, and put them to the side so I can use these as garnishes for my ramen. Okay, so I decided to grab a green onion from my garden. I guess I could show you guys my garden, but not right now because it's like pouring outside. If I get to 100 likes, I guess I will go and show you guys my garden. It's not really that big. Right now we're rebuilding it because it was looking a little bad. But since spring is coming, we're rebuilding all the plants in there. And so yeah. I'm just gonna chop up this green onion and add it. This is gonna go on top of my ramen as well with the rest of the vegetables. And I also cut the red onions. What the heck is a red onion? Sorry, I cut these bell peppers, the red bell peppers and the green bell peppers, in half because like they were really big. So I decided to cut them in half so that way they could fit into my ramen. And once I finish cutting this green onion, I'm gonna just set these vegetables aside, and we're gonna go ahead and start cooking our steak. I totally forgot to tell you guys, don't forget about your mushrooms. I forgot about my mushrooms and realized that I totally forgot about them. So I kind of tried to make them look like shiitake mushrooms, I guess, sort of, kind of, ish, I don't know. All I did was take out the stem pretty much and just kind of toss it to the side. And now I have all my vegetables. I have mushrooms and green onions and red and green bell peppers, and then this little bowl of like already delicious corn. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the steak, and our ramen is pretty much about finished at this point, and so we're good to go. At this point, my ramen kind of looks like this. I like it like overcooked a little bit, I guess you could say, because I feel like it just has a better noodle texture. So this is what it looks like, and now you're gonna want to take it off the heat. Guys, don't forget to add the beef packet. I totally forgot to add the beef packet to it. That's like literally what we're making right now, and I totally forgot about it. But I added the beef packet and put in some cold water in here so that way the noodles wouldn't cook anymore. And yeah, these are our noodles and they're ready to go. Okay guys, now is the best part of all. You're gonna want to heat up your pan, add just a little bit of oil to it, and we're gonna go ahead and grab our steak and get it cooking. Make sure that the oil coats the pan just a touch, you know, because you want to cook your steak evenly. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the steak from the fridge, and once the pan starts to heat up, I'm gonna go ahead and start cooking it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and cook our steak now. The oil has heated up. I'm gonna go ahead, add these on here. This is definitely gonna be the best ramen I have ever had. Because first of all, it's homemade, and second of all, it's just the way I like it. I kind of made the make your own ramen day. I'm gonna let these cook for about 5 to 10 minutes on each side, or just until they're like completely like deliciously cooked on evenly on each side. Like, see, you don't want to take that off because it's not done yet. So I'm gonna let this have a nice little crisp. This fat is like gonna give it just an amazing flavor, and I'm super excited to see how this tastes once it comes off of the stove. Probably, yeah, about 5 to 10 minutes on each side, and then we're gonna move on to the next step, which is assembling our ramen. I'm so excited. So now what I'm doing is kind of just letting the steak crisp up since the sauce is completely reduced. All I want is that delicious crispy outside. from the sauce and the onions and everything. And as you can see, it's already starting to kind of crisp up on places. And once it's all delicious, crispy, and the sauce is all pretty much gone from the steak, you see right here, there's still a lot of sauce right there, and it's not really crisp up. Once the steak is all crispy and the sauce is pretty much gone, I'm gonna take it off the stove and we're gonna have some delicious crispy steak with a delicious flavor. As you can see, the steak is pretty well done. The sauce is all gone and now it's starting to crisp up around the edges, and that is what you want. You want a delicious crispy steak that the sauce is completely just like, look at that. Does that not look amazing to you? Like, wow. This steak looks awesome and I can't wait for it to be finished. On this side it's a little bit less crispy, so we're gonna flip that side back over. Once the steak is all crispy, I'm gonna take it off and we're gonna chop it up and it'll be pretty much done. Like, look at that. That looks like gold. Wow. This is gonna be awesome. So I decided to add some of my vegetables to my hot pan. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I decided, like, why not? Just give it a nice little fry and then take it off and fry the rest of my vegetables besides the green onions. After this, I'm gonna slice up the meat. I'm letting it cool down right now because it's really hot to touch. So, yeah. So now I'm frying my mushrooms. That's kind of basically the color that you want if you are frying them. It's kind of like that golden brown. And then you're gonna want to take them off. So now I'm frying up this corn. I'm gonna let the corn cook until it's like got like little toasted edges on it. Then I'm gonna take it off and then we're gonna get started. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting up my steak. I've already kind of started. You're gonna want to cut them into like semi-thick, probably like 1/2-inch slices, I guess. And I'm just cutting them into strips. You can cut them however you want to. You can cut them thinner, thicker, or you can just leave them like this and serve it on top of your ramen. But I'm just going to kind of cut it because I really want to taste one of them. Oh, it's sliding all over the place. And I think I'm going to taste one just to see how it tastes. Okay, so I'm going to taste this little slice. It looks pretty good. Oh my gosh, it is so good. It's like crispy and sweet and just, it has such a good flavor. This is gonna taste so good. Immaculate. Yep. That is probably the best. Maybe teriyaki, I guess. Teriyaki fried steak that you're gonna have. That is so good. Okay, so I'm gonna start plating. Everything is ready. I have my bowl, my strawberry bowl, which is my favorite bowl, and then this is my brother's bowl, which is pretty simple because he said he wanted to try the ramen too. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my ramen that's already finished, put it in these bowls. Oh my gosh, ramen catastrophe. Oh no, too many noodles at once. Whoa, 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 whoa. Woo. Okay, and now I'm gonna put some in his. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Noodle escape. Okay, got it. Cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, gonna add a little bit more in his because I have a feeling he's really gonna like this ramen. Okay, I'm gonna put some more in mine. Try to make it even. And I didn't want to use 2 bricks of ramen because 2 bricks is too many and 1 is not enough. So I'm just kind of going with the flow. Now I'm gonna have, those are my dogs. They're chasing each other around, but it's okay. Okay, so there's the ramen. It's all done. And now we're gonna start putting on the vegetables. Okay, so now start putting the vegetables on here. I'm gonna go ahead and add, I'm gonna add the bell peppers first. A little bit on each side. Cool beans, and then I'm gonna add a little bit for him too. Awesome. You know, he needs his vegetables, and you gotta eat your vegetables. Your vegetables are good for you. There you go. And add a couple to mine, couple to his, and this one will go to him. And now I'm gonna add just a little bit of mushrooms. He doesn't really like mushrooms, so I'm just gonna add most of them to mine. And then, you know, just sneak a few mushrooms in here, see what notice. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add some corn. There we go. Everything is deliciously toasted. Add some corn to his. Yay. Corn. A little bit more corn. Cool. Okay. So now we've got all the vegetables on here. I'm gonna go ahead and add the steak right in the middle there. Okay. Oh my gosh, wow, this is truly an amazingly epic moment. Put the steak right in the middle there. Oh my gosh, this is gonna taste so good. Got my last two little steak bits, put them right there. Can I lay them on top of each other? Yes! Ah! Wow, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, looks amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add steak to my brothers. Oh no. Okay. Gonna go ahead and lay that steak right there. Oh, ta-da. Wow. Oops. That looks pretty awesome if you ask me. This ramen has turned out so good, and the steak is perfectly laid on here. Wow, it looks awesome. We're gonna go ahead and add some green onions right on top there. Add some green onions for him. Cool beans. And I'm also gonna grab some sesame seeds and add those on top. Excuse me, thank you. Got a little bag of sesame seeds. Just do a little sprinkle. Yep. And now it is finished. Thank you guys for watching. This ramen looks amazing. I'm about to go devour it. Probably add a little bit of sriracha on top. And you've got some really delicious looking, really awesome steak ramen. This, oh my gosh, this just looks amazing. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notifications. Bye!